All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin. In this video, I'm just going to cover Bitcoin, and then in another video, I'll go over some of the altcoins. But today, I'm going to focus on Bitcoin, at least in this video, and let's jump into it here. So, Bitcoin was in this consolidation pattern that we were kind of watching over this weekend. It looked almost like an ascending triangle, with our semi-equal highs here and these higher lows coming in all through here. And we were just getting really tight in here. We were starting to consolidate really, really tightly. And anytime you see a consolidation where the price action is squeezing together lower and lower and lower like this, eventually there's going to be explosion on the price action, an expansion of volatility. And this is what we're getting right now. Now, this expansion of volatility is to the downside. I was thinking it was going to be the upside, but we did see our bullish CVD divs get invalidated that I was talking about a few days ago in the video. And since those bullish CVD divs got invalidated on this move down, we are actually, if we go to our CVD chart, we are actually seeing something pretty scary here. First of all, you can see the increase in volume here on this push down, a big increase in volume from our last increase. But if you look at this local CVD chart here, we can see from the start of the dump here, our CVD has been going down. Now, CVD is market participants. So this is telling us overall, a lot of people are shorting the market here with our CVD going down. It is causing the price to go down and our open interest is going up. So what the open interest going up is, this is new positions entering the market. So these new positions are short positions. We can tell they're short positions because the CVD is going down and they are successfully pushing the price of Bitcoin down. So we have new money coming into the market, pushing Bitcoin's price to the downside. This is a healthy move to the downside for Bitcoin. It is not a long squeeze of late longers. This is more, at least this local price action here of the past few hours has been a strong push to the downside, and we could see this continue. Now, we are starting to kind of lose some momentum through here. We are not seeing any bullish CVD divs yet. I'm not even thinking about longing this thing until I start to see a range and start to see bullish CVD divs. So this here is telling me that this move could continue to the downside. Now, of course, we could make higher lows, come up to the VWAP, reject, and kind of continue the chop down. But right now, this looks pretty strong, pretty healthy. We did come down. We did not SFP these lows here. You can see actually these lows now are acting as a sort of resistance for us. These prior lows are trying to act as a resistance for us. And we did break back into this pitchfork band. Remember, I talked about last time we hit into this pitchfork band, it was a really nice support level. We did reject from the midline, kind of chopped around this midline for a while. Now we're coming down and we're breaking back into this pitchfork band. Couple things here. We do have the liquidity grab of these lows here. Now, we could see the SFP of this, and it would be breaking the bottom support of the band, but oftentimes on these kind of big SFPs, we can see a wick to SFP to grab the liquidity of that low and then close a 4-hourly candle at or above the band of support, the lower part of the band of support. If not, we got a couple bigger levels of support to the downside. Right now, locally on lower time frames, I'm going to be watching now for a back test of the VWAP in confluence with this pitchfork band. If we reject this, I do think we're at least coming down to this area here, if not there. So Bitcoin, it's looking dumpy here. I mean, let's look at the money flow here. So let's go on the hourly. Hourly momentum wave is starting to bottom out, but you can see our money flow has been going down the entire day, really, and now we're finally crossing into the red, and it is pretty strong decrease into the red now. That doesn't mean we can't make small pushes up here and there, but I do think that this could continue based off of our CVD. Now, our money flow on the 4-hour is continuing to curve down. You can see we've kind of been just chopping around. And then since this high that was made, when was that? That was on Friday. Our money flow has been decreasing to the downside during this consolidation. Our momentum wave is nowhere even close to being bottomed out. Plus, we did invalidate our local bullish CVD possibility. You can see our bullish divs, possibility. You can see here, these lows, this momentum wave here, already, unless we absolutely curve to the upside right now, this thing is going to continue to make a larger momentum wave than this one. So it would be lower lows on the momentum waves, which if we want to see bullish div, we want to see lower lows on the price action, but we want to see higher lows on the momentum waves. So right now that is on the verge. I wouldn't say it's invalidated yet, but I'd say we're on the verge of invalidating our local 4-hour bullish CVD divs. If we zoom out to the daily, I did talk about this. I've been talking about this for the last few days here. We had our triple drives of daily bear div. And anytime you see bear divs on the daily like this, you have to pay attention to them because these bear divs eventually play out. And you can see here from this high, we made a really high momentum wave. The next major high here at the 108.4, we had a lower high momentum wave. That's our first drive of bear div there. And then we had a third drive here with another higher high in the momentum wave and another lower high in the price action. At the same time, our money flow overall through this entire time and through this entire consolidation range has been decreasing to the downside. So not only is this a triple drive of bearish div, but it's the bearish Sam Bankman-Fried man boob pattern, as Jason calls it, where our money flow is also decreasing while we're seeing the bear divs on the momentum indicator. All right, so let's look at this here. If we come into the chart, we could do a couple things right away. We can do our Fibonacci pull from low to high on the daily, the last big low to high here. You can see our golden pocket is right here. Now, if this takes a few days, our golden pocket could be aligning with the bottom of the pitchfork here. And the bottom of pitchforks are very, very nice support. So I would like to see it take a few days, maybe make a small bounce through here, make a lower high. If we, over the next day or two, come down here, SFP this, maybe push up to the top of the band, chop around for a bit, and then dump to the bottom in confluence with our pitchfork band or pitchfork bottom. That would be a nice, and our golden pocket here. Now we do have, if we do this same Fibonacci pull, I want to point out something to you guys because we did front run the 0.5 the other day. You can see the lows. I marked out the lows here at 99,416 on Coinbase. And we did not actually touch the 0.5 since we've made this move here. We had the high of that day. We had the low of that day. We have not touched the 0.5. Oftentimes, a correction target is a 0.5. So if this was kind of an impulse to the upside, we have our correction target at a 0.5. Now, this could just be on a bigger time frame. This could just be like an A wave here, and then we see a B, and then we come down to our C, and then continue higher. But 0.5, so at the SFP into the 0.5 at 99.2-ish is going to be a level I'll be watching. Now, when we come down there, I'm going to be looking at the 1-hour chart, the 2-hour chart, the 15-minute chart. I'm going to want to see bull divs and the confirmation of the SFP. So what that means, I'd probably be looking on the 15-minute time frame. I would look for the swing failure pattern hitting the 0.5 and closing a 15-minute candle at or above this level here, the body of the candle. And then we could long that close there with our stop loss below the local low. And our first TP could be the retest of the band here, or even I wouldn't want to retest this band here. That's too low, but the top of the band there is what I'd be looking for. Now, right now, I'm watching this to see if this does reject from here and we continue down. All right, so let's zoom back out here. Let's go back onto the daily chart here. And I do believe we have a couple other things we need to pay attention to. All right, I do want to show you guys this ray here. Now, remember, this ray has been a very key trend of that last part of the parabola. And just earlier today, now we did wick past it a couple times, but we never closed the daily below it. Now we are losing that peach line there. You can see we're losing it, and we're trying to come up right now to reclaim it. If we really haven't closed any high time frame levels below it. So if we can hold this, get above this and hold it, we might be able to see a bigger push to the upside. Right now, that's kind of what I'm watching for, to see if this is going to reject. This little area here that we're in right now is going to reject us, and we're going to continue down. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. 15-minute market cipher. I wouldn't say any bull divs here. You can see this is a momentum wave. This could kind of be counted as a second momentum wave here. So if you could count that as a bull div through this little dip down here to here, but I don't like that too much. Let's go to the 6-minute chart. Now, 6-minute chart, we are seeing some bull divs, and we are seeing money flow curve up. So you can see from this low here, 1, 2, 3. So 3 drives of bearish div here on the 6 minute. So this 6 minute drive, if we close the hourly candle above this pitchfork band, I will probably look for a long. Now, if I did look for the long, you have to put your stop, your technical invalidation below this low. And then in that case, we'd look for our levels to shoot for. That's a pretty bad risk management. That's a pretty huge stop loss for me. I don't like that. Maybe I would wait for a low time frame structure change and then put my stop below whatever low time frame structure change break, because that's a pretty big stop for me there. So now our anchored VWAP here is really important. That's where when we kind of lost it, we were chopping around it all week. That's also our point of control. So if I zoom out here onto the 2-hour chart and this top consolidation range that we've been in, this range here, if we do a fixed range volume profile pull of this range here, you can see that our point of control is right around that anchored VWAP there. Let's go ahead and pull this all the way here. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. And now that we're losing the value area low of this range, we also do need to watch for a move back up to back test this value area low and then see a rejection, and we might continue down. So this area here at, what is that, 102.8-ish is going to be a level to be watching. We can also do a local Fibonacci pull from the high to the low here, and you can see our 0.5 is around that area. To me, this does look a bit impulsive, you guys. This price action to the downside looks a bit impulsive. If we go into our volume and we look at our volume, you can see a pretty high increase in volume on this dump to the downside. Now, this dump to the downside, this tells me that this could be the start of an impulse. And then our money flow is looking pretty bad here. So even if we do come up for a lower, to back test this could be a lower high before we continue down. So this could be the start of a 1 wave on a 5 wave impulse to the downside. We really need to be watching for this after this consolidation here. And this consolidation, it really was looking bullish at some points in here through making all of these higher lows. We were seeing bullish CVD, but because it was the weekend and we just chopped sideways so long, in a lot of positions closed out, it invalidated our bullish CVD because our open interest just decreased so strongly. If we go onto the hourly chart here, let's look at this hourly chart. Let's go here. All right, so overall, look at this open interest increase. So these are new positions that are opening up here right now. This open interest increase means new money is entering the market. And we can tell that new money is short positions because our CVD is overall declining, meaning market shorts are coming in. It is, though, compared to some of the other huge dumps we had, the inauguration day dump and then the last big dump, it is actually quite a bit less volume than some of those. So I do think we can continue in this range, but if we're going to continue in this range, first order of business is going to be to reclaim this pitchfork band, which looks like we're actually trying to do right now. And then the next order of business is to get back in the value area, because if we reject from the back test of this value area low here, then we are probably confirming more downside. So this is the key right now. And it looks like during this video, we'll kind of watch this back test here to see if this is going to reject or not. Right now, it's giving us some resistance here. Let me get rid of this peach line. Yeah, all right. We're going to keep an eye on this to see how this plays out. Money flow. Yeah, I mean, it's looking good, but it does look like it's going to start to roll over again. So let's really watch this to see if we reject here during this video. All right, back onto the hourly chart here. And let's go ahead and let's look at our naked daily points of control here. And we can also look at our naked weekly points of control because the new week just started. So this is today's naked daily point of control. We're not going to pay attention to that. We still have our big one up here at 107.866. And then we do have a new one right at the point of control of this big range as well. So now this is this point of control that was acting as support, and we were kind of chopping around it all of today before the big dump. It is definitely going to be a resistance now to the upside. So let's look at our weeklies here real quick. Yeah, so our weeklies there as well. And you can see our new weekly point of control is right here, but obviously it hasn't closed yet. So you can see this range has been a little bit over a week because this range has been from the 25th here, 25th, and our weekly point of control is there as well. It's naked right now, so let's keep an eye on that. And then if we do a Fibonacci pull from the on this little range here, from the last high of the range that we just created to our current lows, which might not remain our current lows, but we can do that, and our golden pocket is going to be right up in there. Golden pocket right there as well. So now this is a key resistance for us to be watching. We have our 0.5 of the smaller move from just the dump today, this last few hours. Our 0.5 is aligning with the value area low. And then our big move, our big last Fibonacci pull on the hourly, from the hourly high to this low that we created, our golden pocket is going to be coming in right at this POC about 105K. So 105K is going to be our level of resistance to be watching now. And if we do get back, though, one thing that will be a little bit bullish is if we can break back into this range, that'll be almost like a deviation of the range. Maybe it takes a while, and then this pitchfork band is aligning with the value area low. Then we would want to see us move up, and then this would be our key point, whether we're going to reject and continue down or be able to flip it and continue higher. But we're not even close to that yet. We have to watch to see if this rejects us, this band rejects us, which I think it might, but we're just going to watch it here. All right, so yeah, we have our naked daily points of control, our pivot points. Yeah, we do have a pivot point close to that as well, our monthly pivot point up in here. It's a little bit lower than that, though. Oops, I forgot. There we go. And let me get rid of this guy here. All right. Let's zoom out here onto the 4-hour chart and let's look at some other levels that we have here. So we have the swing failure pattern into the 0.5. Our bigger support is here. This is our golden pocket and it's our medium range POC. So what I mean by medium range POC, let me zoom out on this. Let me hide this volume to clean up the chart a bit. Now you can see this price action here. And really since this last parabolic move up here, from this point here on November 22nd, it's been more of a sideways range. So what I did is I took a fixed range volume profile of that medium range here. And let me hide this small one so we can clean up the charts. And let me get rid of this golden pocket. Let me get rid of this 0.5. And you guys can see our point of control of that range is right in here as well. Now that's our medium range and it's our golden pocket pull. If we do a golden pocket from the 89K lows up to the new all-time high, you can see our golden pocket is right in there as well, a little bit higher than that. So golden pocket POC right in here. And then we do have a daily down here with our 786. So if we look at the 786 of this, we have our 78. Well, it's a bit lower here. So we could do this here. 786 daily and the bottom of the pitchfork here. Now, if we look at the entire range, so let me turn off this medium range here, and let's look at the range since November 11th, this full range here. Our value area low is quite a bit lower here. And our point of control, though, is a little bit below this SFP here. So that could be nice to SFP into these lows. We still do have this low. The last time we hit the band of support and flipped it into support and pumped. So because this level was such a strong support level before we got that push to the upside, we can look for liquidity below this low here. And we have the liquidity grab of this low into our golden pocket. 97,277 to about 97K is our first big level that I'd be wanting to see that push from if we do make it down there. All right, so let me get rid of that. Now I'm going to go on to the other Bitcoin chart. This is the Bybit Bitcoin chart. And I pulled a new pitchfork, a bearish pitchfork based off some bearish price action. And what I looked at here, so I did it from the all-time high down to the first major low up to the next most recent high, higher low up there. We're rejected from that golden pocket. And you can see that this pitchfork, let me zoom in onto the 2-hour chart and let me get rid of some of this stuff here. You can see that our pitchfork has been really respected, rejected from the band, bounce from midline, bounce from midline. pumped up above it, fell to the band of support, band of support. Now we're trying to back test it, the bearish breakout of it, to see if it's going to hold. Oftentimes when you break a channel or a pitchfork like this, you'll come down to bearishly back test it to see if it's going to hold, and then you'll continue higher. Now, if we don't continue higher, we do have these lows down here, into our band of support. So this is our kind of range that we've had. You can see this range, this top range, the same one I was just showing you guys. We do have the lows of that range into our band of support here, and that's at 99.4-ish. And so we could continue to drop down to SFP, the lows of the range, into our pitchfork band of support, and then continue higher. If not that, we do have our point of control of the large range, our golden pocket, the pitchfork midline, and there is a new naked daily point of control down there as well. Let's see here. Not that one. That's our weekly, naked weekly point of control. Let me turn this on and let's check that. Let's double check on that real quick. Okay, that's weekly. Let me turn it. All right, yeah, you can see that naked daily point of control right in here. So we have a naked daily point of control, pitchfork midline here, and that's obviously if it takes a few days to dump down there, which presumably we expect it to take a few days. It's probably not going to dump to 97K today or tomorrow. If it does, then we're seeing a big flush of late longers that we're all longing through here. Yeah, so we do, and we also do have. Now, this naked daily point of control was hit. That line there is the swing failure pattern. So that is not naked. You can see that here was hit, and that's where we bounced from the last big naked daily. So this big 97K, 97.2 to 97K. So the swing failure pattern of these lows, which was the last time we bounced from that last pitchfork I was just showing you, into our golden pocket, our pitchfork midline, our naked daily point of control, and our big range point of control is all down here at 97K. That would be the next major support that I'm watching down there. And then, of course, if we continue dropping, we do have our 786 of the move. If you look at from our lows to our highs, our 786 is aligning with the bottom of the pitchfork down here at like 93K. And I do believe we have a fresh daily down there as well. Let's check that out. Let's go on to the daily chart here. And yes, we do have the daily. It's a little bit higher than that, though. The daily is going to be... Actually, no, that's not it. No, we don't have a daily down there. Is that? Let's check this. So there, and then we wicked it the next day. So we do not have that daily down there. Okay. That daily's been wicked. Okay. Yep. Let's check on our weekly chart. Now we are going to have a new weekly resistance above us. If this week closes red here, we'll have this weekly level here, but it's not confirmed yet. And then we do have our weekly support down here as well. This weekly support level. Let's mark this out real quick. Our weekly. So that's at the 94.7-ish. Let's go zoom back in onto the hourly chart. All right, so we have a few levels, actually. We have the SFP of the bottom of the range, these lows here, into the pitchfork band of support, the first pitchfork band. We have our big support, golden pocket, POC, midline, naked daily point of control. Our third level of support is going to be our weekly in confluence with the bottom of the band, because it will take some time to get down there. And then our fourth level is this level down here, 786 in confluence with the bottom of the pitchfork, the bottom of the bearish pitchfork. All right, so that's kind of what I'm watching for on Bitcoin. Now to the upside, remember, it's just going to be really important to reclaim this pitchfork band now that it's turning into resistance. So, and it looks like we're starting to reject from it. If we do confirm the rejection, I expect to at least come down to these lows at 99, about 100K. We also do have our big range. If we look at our big range from really the November 11th range here, we are losing our value area high. So if we close this daily candle back within the value area of this big range, we might expect a move down to the point of control. And that point of control is going to be a pretty important point of control. If we bounce and continue, then break up higher, if we lose the point of control, we're most likely to come down to the value area low, just the way a range works. Triple drives a bear div, we're giving us some warning. Now, I'm not that bearish yet. I don't think that, I do think we can make some higher lows overall on the daily and continue higher. I do still think a new all-time high will be eventually be made. We do remember back when this range first started here, we hit this 886 here. And so when we hit this 886, we had to say it's probable that we come down and take these lows eventually, because on the Fibonacci pull from high to low on this move up, we came down and we hit the 886 here, and we bounced from the 886 here. So anytime you see a bounce from the 886, eventually we have a high probability to come take the lows below it, which are these lows here. And we also have one of those to the upside, unfortunately, as well, though. Here, we dropped, and then we hit the 886 here. So now, did we take those highs? No, we have not taken those highs yet. So we have a 886 touch both ways in front of us. Other than that, let's just keep an eye out on it. Let's keep an eye on Bitcoin. Our liquidity. So this is our 1 month liquidity heat map on the Model 3 chart here. You can see the major liquidity is down at 71K. So I mean, everyone says it's not possible to drop to 71K. It is possible to drop to 71K. We could absolutely drop down there, grab the major liquidity, and then continue the run. Now, I don't expect that to happen overnight. I expect that to take some time to happen. If we go to our Model 3 chart, though, and look at the last 48 hours here, just above us is where the majority of our short-term liquidity is. And you can see we stopped out and took a lot of our liquidity on this dump that we just saw earlier. All the liquidity that was growing below us here from the consolidation of all the people that thought it was going to break the upside, including myself, were now stopped out, or their positions were closed. And now that liquidity is resting above us here. And that's also right around this 105K. It's a little bit higher, actually. It's 106K. So we can watch for that to occur as well. I do think that golden pocket of this move that I was looking at yesterday was 106K, 106.5, but now we need to adjust that golden pocket. We need to adjust this here. So our 786 is right around 105,800. If we go back to our liquidity chart, 105,800 here. So that's where our liquidity is there. And that's if this low continues. I think if this low if this continues to drop, obviously our 786 is going to change. So that's what I got on Bitcoin, you guys. Let's keep an eye out on it. It looks like low time frame, we are starting to reject from this back test of the band. I do expect this to continue a little bit lower, just because our CVD looks so, I mean, let's zoom back in on the 5-minute chart and let's look at this here. Do we even see any bullish CVD down here? Because I want to see bullish CVD at least before I start to, a range form and some bullish CVD before I start to. If anything, okay, no. If anything, we're starting to see bearish CVD here, because you can see here our highs from this high here. Last time we rejected from the VWAP, we're making lower highs in the price action, but our CVD from this level is making higher highs, and our open interest has been increasing here. So bearish CVD absorption locally into the back test of the pitchfork band here. Maybe we continue down. That's what it's looking like. As far as our VWAP bands go, I was talking about this too a couple days ago. Anytime these VWAP bands really compress real tight, then you usually see an explosive expansion out of these bands. And you can see how tight these bands were compressing here. We were just due for a larger move to happen. Now we did drop. We are trying to find support on the bottom of the VWAP bands, but oftentimes on these explosive moves like this, we'll come back down and at least test, if not make a new low into the bottom of the band, we'll test the midline of the lower band here. And so that's at like 100.9. Let's see. Locally, we do have some opportunity for bullish CVD on the 1 minute if you can see our spot CVD for spot CVD. Our spot CVD is kind of flat right now, but if spot CVD continues to go down and we make a higher low in here, we could see some local spot bullish absorption, which spot absorption is always better than perpetuals. But right now, it's just too early to tell because overall, we're still seeing that bearish CVD come in here. And this is on aggregated open interest as well. So let's keep an eye on this. That's it for Bitcoin. Everyone have a good day. I'll make another video on some alts.